She's 19, just letting it all hang out. She's a brick house. I like lady stack, that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing.
You have tuned in to a very special holiday edition of the Apples to Apples show. This is Thanksgiving week, and we have the big reveal. We will be revealing... Well, actually, before I get to that, welcome to the Apples to Apples show, proudly sponsored by Coors Light. We always thank Coors Light for sponsoring the Apples to Apples show and especially sponsoring The Orchard. I am coming to you from the Alive and Social Network studios in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And we have to get right out to Washington, D.C., Georgetown University, and Drew Applebaum. We have a huge show, the big reveal, and much, much more. So, Drew, what's going on out there? Drew, what's going on out there?
Hey, yeah, sorry, I was just trying to get some homework done.
Oh, that's a great way to start the show. It's one of the biggest shows we've had. Excuse me?
You know anything about econometrics? That you pick anything up in your 50 years of life about that? Is that something you know about?
Well, first of all,
you can help me with.
Your math.
Help me with my homework, Dad.
Well, of course, I know everything. Go ahead, let me have it.
Oh, I can send it to you later. We
all
want to bore
right.
the people.
Yeah, I can help you.
I don't need. Like you said, we got a huge show. We shouldn't waste time on my homework.
Well, and it's good, and it's nice that
homework is, kids.
It's nice that you don't want to bore the people, because
I just don't want to bore them with this. We're gonna bore them for sure.
Well,
but
at
just
least
not with this.
Yeah, at least you're gonna bore them. All right, today's show. It is the big reveal. We will shortly be revealing the first annual Apples to Apples swimsuit. Hang on, Wyatt was asking me a question. No, not yet, Wyatt. Not yet. Wyatt is so excited. He is so excited that he thought we were doing it right away. No, not yet. Calm down. I think he wants to know if he's in it. That's really what this is all about. So we will be revealing that.
I think a lot of people want to know if they're in it.
Right. Well, we'll get to all that.
Should...
We'll get to all that. All right. But first, we have to do a little housekeeping. Okay.
Okay.
We have to once again remind everyone of the first stop on the Apples to Apples live tour, which will be December 21st. The Trail Stop Tavern, Eagan, Minnesota. Time right now, 4:30 to 5:30. That could go longer. That could go earlier. That's what we're going with right now. The second stop on the live Apples to Apples tour will be January 12th at the Boulevard, and that time will be determined. So there's a little housekeeping there. Any housekeeping on your end?
I was just going to say, I haven't said this for a few weeks, but with Thanksgiving coming up this week, we all have a lot to be thankful for. And I think me and you especially have to be thankful to The Orchard and everyone else who's listened and supported us through this. And my only housekeeping issue before Thanksgiving is if you're thankful for us for some reason, if you like us, and we have a lot of listeners out there, and I know we never really thought it would be like this and it's been a ton of fun, but keep liking us on Facebook and tell your friends to do it, and follow us on Twitter and everything, because the more followers we get, the more cool, fun stuff that we get to do for you guys. And for us, but more importantly, like we can have huge guests on the show if we can get some more followers. And I think we would both like to do that for ourselves, and so we could ask them the hard-hitting questions for everyone listening.
Yep, that's right. And please, like Drew said, twerk us, Facebook us, all that good stuff. Well, this is gonna be a little different show. We normally go through at least a half an hour of local and national sports, but we are gonna do a very, very quick version. I mean, we can't just not talk about the Viking game, even though that would.
I was thinking about it before we went on air. We're kind of getting back to our roots here. When we started, it was little sports, a lot of nonsense. And because when we started doing it, was literally just the Twins. We're the only team playing. So we had to fill it with something else. And now we're at a point where we've gone through so many different seasons. We've had to talk a little more sports. And you know what? I think it's just time. The NFL, or not the NFL, the NBA, the NHL are kind of in a lull right now. It's time to get back to our roots and, really talk about things that don't matter.
Didn't you mention you didn't want to bore anybody?
Did I?
Yeah. Well, you said, hey, I don't want to bore anyone. Well,
I don't remember that.
That didn't last long.
I have some memory issues.
Okay, we can't get that couple 45-second rant back. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to talk briefly, and I'm, again, pleading with you briefly. We are going to talk about the Vikings because we have to. Maybe take a quick drive to Claysville to visit the Gophers, but very quick because we've got a lot of apple picking, a lot of questions from the orchard, and we've got the huge reveal that I was handed 15 minutes before I walked in here from the committee. So, Drew, why don't you take the Vikings quickly? I'll cut you off when it's time to move on.
Well, I guess
it's time to move on. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
That's
it was too much.
Honestly, I was actually gonna say, I don't mind not talking about them this week because that game was just so frustrating to watch as a fan, and you can attest to this. And I think most of our fans out there, or most of our listeners out there, are fans of Minnesota sports. That's what I meant to say, because I don't think we actually have any fans.
True.
We've watched some bad teams. We've watched some good teams. We've watched some disappointing games. We've just watched some bad games. But that was one of the most frustrating games I've ever had to watch as a Vikings fan.
No, I agree.
Are you going to make me talk through this whole thing?
I was thinking.
Are you going to say anything?
Well,
I know. I like talking, but every once in a while I like to take a breath.
Okay, well, I was going to work on your homework. Well, you usually just banter and you kind of lose me halfway
I'm
through.
telling you, that's what this game
did. All right, let's
to me.
do the
I was
cliff
watching it,
notes.
I was speechless. I was speechless.
Let's do the cliff notes. I think we are actually a better football team than Green Bay. However,
if you look at the stats, like the numbers, I mean the basic ones. I'm not a sabermetrics guy by any means, but if you look at total yards of offense, time of possession, third down efficiency, stuff like that, we were neck and neck with them, if not better. But it was we had more penalty yards than we have had in 10 years, 12 years or something like that. 2003, some game in 2003 was the last time we had that many penalty yards. I'm you had told me ahead of time Eric could be able to watch the game.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, this is the first time I've actually gotten to watch a lot of football. I'm going to sit down, pay attention. It got to the point where I was so mad. I literally started taking notes.
So
I didn't forget.
The moral of the story is this. I think, and Teddy really wasn't the problem, but I'm going to say he
played
pretty good, but
phenomenally. And I know I'm probably going to get some crap for that, but he almost threw for 300 yards. He was the only one making plays. He had more rushing yards than Peterson. When we needed a play, we got it from him, even though he was sacked 6 times and on the ground getting hit twice as much as that.
No, he got beat up. There's no doubt. But I still think he has not won the big game yet. This group of Vikings have not won a big game yet.
They have absolutely.
And Aaron Rodgers has. And Aaron Rodgers wasn't phenomenal, but it's probably just.
I think Aaron Rodgers was bad. I'm just going to say it. I think Aaron Rodgers was bad. I did not think he played very well. I don't think his receivers played very well either. They dropped a lot of passes. He missed a lot of throws. He got sacked a lot too. I don't think he played well. Eddie Lacy played great for once, finally. I don't know why he decided to play well against us finally, but he did. Mason Crosby is the second coming of what was that guy's name? The old kicker. He's the guy that had the fake foot or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
The guy that had a fake foot?
Or he had I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know you don't know what you're talking about, but what does that have to? We know that. Can you just talk about the kicker with the fake foot?
I just never mind. Forget it.
I didn't bring it up. Don't get mad at me. Never mind. The old kicker. Didn't we have their old kicker? For
what
a while?
Was his name? He might have been a punter. I don't know.
Rick Dempsey?
I don't know. Maybe I don't remember.
You mean the guy that held the record? The guy with the half a foot that held the record?
Yes, that guy.
That's Rick. That's Dempsey. Rick Dempsey. Something. What does that have to do with anything? He only had one good kick. He wasn't even.
He's a kicker or a punter, not a kicker. I'm telling you, this game has me.
Hey, putts, and then we're going to move on. But why would you not have picked an all-star kicker. You picked the guy that kicked the far ball, but
because I wanted to say the second coming, and I didn't want to say the second coming of a guy that's already a kicker.
All right.
Like, still a kicker. I couldn't say Vinatieri because he's going to kick till he's 85 years old.
Right. All right. Well, here's the bottom line, and I'm taking it over now. So take a break, take a breath, take a dump, do whatever you got to do.
There is a kicker with only a half a foot, right? I didn't completely make that up.
And he held the record, but we have to move on.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
There.
So we got to move on. So here's the deal. The Vikings are tied technically, even though they're a game behind. They've still got a comfortable lead for the playoff race. They still have some work to do. It's not all doom and gloom, but this group has not won a big game yet. Until they do that, then they're going to be the same old Vikings. Quickly, the Gophers, the big win against Wisconsin, and I believe they're in a bowl. Big deal. My volleyball team did take one on the chin over the weekend, and that's the only sports we're going to talk today. Next week, we promise, next Monday, we'll be back with a full slate of sports and obviously your questions too. But we will get into the Wild and the Timberwolves and all these other sports. But this is the special holiday edition, and in honor of that, it is time. I was handed just 10 minutes before I walked in here the list. Drew, you're gonna have to comment because you don't even know everybody that's on it. I know you know some of them, but we are about.
I'm pretty sure I know everybody.
Well, we are about to reveal the first annual and the 2015 Apples to Apples calendar. And in honor of that, we think we have an appropriate lead-in song. Hit it, Wyatt. I'm not unsure because I have in my hands the list of the very first members of the Apples to Apples calendar, and we will start appropriately so with January. January, this individual was born 15, 16 years ago. His name is Seamus. Drew?
Yeah, he's had some issues. We've tried to work through them on the show. Issues that seem like they're not necessarily his fault. And January being his birthday month, we thought we'd give him the love on his birthday, for his birthday, that he may not be getting elsewhere.
Well, that it was never, he wasn't.
It was, as he said, what did he say? I was never loved from birth or something along those lines.
Was that a dog?
No, I had to cough. Sorry.
You cough like a dog. That's just weird.
I have known you for 20 years. It's the first time you've ever told me that.
It's the first time I knew you coughed like a dog. But anyways,
okay.
So
either way,
so what you're saying is we're going to give Seamus the love he didn't get when he was born from his parents.
Exactly, and he's gonna, and a lot of other people are too. So everyone who gets the calendar is gonna see it. And
so Seamus Kelly, the lead role in As the Pizza, my friend, our Italian friend.
My friend is Seamus Kelly. You're not Seamus Harvey.
Did I say Kelly? Why do I do that? Yeah, Seamus Harvey.
You do that all the time.
Yeah, that is so bad.
Seamus, I'm sorry. I would never get your name wrong. I was the one that said we should put you on the calendar. I didn't get it wrong.
Well, to be honest with you, I was looking at something. Never mind. It is Seamus Harvey. I know that. He knows that. I even bought Seamus Harvey pizza the other day.
He might not want to be Seamus Harvey. Maybe you should change his name to Seamus Kelly.
That would be too awkward.
It's a different discussion. But.
Right. So January, Seamus Harvey, star of As the Pizza Turns. Now, I got to back up one thing I should have said. We are just revealing the names. The Alive and Social Network calendar committee worked feverishly on this, and they just completed it about 10 minutes before we went on. So some of this...
The list, not the actual calendar.
The list. The actual calendar is now in production that we have the list, or will be as of today. We will let you know, hopefully next week, when and where you can find this calendar.
And if you have been chosen to be on the calendar, our people will be in touch with your people,
right,
to set up a shoot and everything. So just if you're on the calendar, I really hope you're listening if you're on the calendar, or else we made some pretty awful decisions.
Well, we didn't make them all.
You'll,
There was a committee.
Well, that's true. I guess we didn't have much of a say. We don't get much of a say in a lot of these things. I feel like we should.
All right, so Seamus Harvey, the very first member, and he's January. Let's go to February. This person also, Drew, needs some love, and this might be the last.
Some love.
February, the month of love, or just flowers and candy, whatever.
I think this person would more lean towards the candy part of it.
More than likely. This could be our last not because he's going to die necessarily. Mr. February, the one and only Jerry Kill. We're going to go to Jerry Soda one more time. So Jerry Kill is our Mr. February. Thoughts?
And I was thinking about this as well. I don't want anyone to read into February being the shortest month and that us giving that to Jerry Kill. That had nothing to do with the decision.
No. Size doesn't matter.
You're going to get to live Jerry Soda one more time throughout the month of February.
Right. Congratulations,
we'll have just
Jerry.
ended the college football season. We'll be missing. Well, maybe we'll be missing Clay's Open. Probably not. But we'll be definitely missing Jerry Soda. And you'll get it one last time with the swimsuit calendar in the month of February.
We will also send Jerry a Apples to Apples t-shirt.
Absolutely. We may have to order a new one, though.
All right, we need to move on. So just recapping, we've got Seamus Harvey and Jerry Kill.
I'm glad you recapped after 2 months. I really needed a recap. I'm sure people forgot the 2 people we've named so far.
You're welcome. So, March, Easter. I think it's very fitting that the very first Catholic priest swimsuit model is Mr. March. So, Father Jingdahl, the good Father Jingdahl, you are March in honor of Easter. Thoughts?
You know, from day one, when we started this calendar, I think we knew that we had to include Father Jingdahl.
It's a bold move by the committee.
Spiritual impact he's had on the show.
It's a bold move by the committee.
But I think it's the right move.
Oh, I didn't say it was bad.
They knew how much of an impact, like I said, spiritually he's had on this show, as well as adding to the conversation, sports wise, absolutely.
And apple picking. I mean, it was his idea.
It was his idea. He's just added so much to the show. He needed to be included. I think it's a savvy move by the committee to have him in the month with Easter, not Christmas, because when it really boils down to it, that's the real Catholic holiday, from my understanding.
Coming from a Jewish boy.
Exactly. But I would say I have a pretty good view of it because I just look at it as like it's just facts.
Correct.
You know.
Well,
maybe not facts. It's somebody's facts.
And the father already has a T-shirt, so we don't have to get him one. All right. So April. April is usually the month of WrestleMania, and in honor of WrestleMania, Patrick O'Mara, who continually sends us wrestling questions, although oddly not this week when there was a huge event last night. But anyways, Patrick,
he might not know yet. He might not have been able to watch it.
Okay, I'm not.
Don't
spoiler.
Spoil anything for him.
Nope, no spoilers. So Patrick O'Mara is Mr. April in honor of WrestleMania. Now, May, I don't know the significance of the month, but we really feel this next guest was probably the founding member of the Orchard. Really the first one to step up and ask those first few questions. So Ray Christie, you are Mr. May. Congratulations on making the Apples to Apples. So just recapping, Seamus Harvey, January. Jerry Kill, February. Father Jingdahl, March. Patrick O'Mara, April. And Ray Christie, May.
I just want to say before we continue, that's a phenomenal calendar. And that's only 5 months in. You still have 7 months of the year left.
I know.
You still got over half a year left. Some important months coming up.
So
now, we already included those 5. I can't imagine who the committee has next.
Well, you don't have to imagine because I'm about to tell you. So June. Now this is I don't want to say creepy, but this month apparently the committee. Now in general, the committee got a lot of people that wanted to be on it and plenty that didn't want to be on it. But apparently,
I'd say more the latter than the former.
No, I don't need a ladder.
You don't need a ladder. You're not very tall. Sometimes it's tough for you to reach things. A step stool, maybe.
Okay, so June. I don't even.
I'm looking to get you a Hanukkah gift, and a ladder was kind of what I was going for. Is that bad? Should I not get you that?
I'll just wear my hair higher. It'll be fine. But can we get back
That's not
to
going to
June?
help you reach things.
June is an important month, and we actually, this is the first.
You brought up the ladder thing.
You said the ladder. This is the first month we have a.
Those are T's, not D's.
Hello?
Something about a ladder.
Can you calm down for a second?
No, I'm excited.
Okay, well, let me know when I can talk.
No, I'm done.
Okay, good. Because
actually, wait, I have one more.
I had a feeling. Go ahead.
No, I got nothing.
You don't?
No.
Okay. So this month is the first.
What month are we on?
June. I just recapped for you, and then you ridiculed me for recapping, and you're lost already. So here, June is the first month we have a double. 2 calendar boys. Now, but this is awkward because the Alive and Social Network Committee was flooded, emails and normal mail, absolutely flooded with requests for these 2 individuals, almost to a point where it was stalking, and I do believe I know who it was, but I'm not going to rat Ross from the Good Podcast out. But Aaron and Grant, both members of the Alive and Social Network staff, producers, they do everything here. They are Mr. and Mr. June. We had no choice. Well, the committee had no choice.
It wasn't our choice in the first place.
Well, those are 2 great choices, but they were okay. So moving on,
fan favorites apparently.
Well, at least one, but again, I'm not going to rat them out. It's just a theory. So July, we're going to kind of stick with the Alive and Social theme. This show was really sort of developed in July, or an idea. And in honor of the man who came up with this thought, he probably was a kind of just had Tourette's or something and just blurted it out. And then it actually
I was going to say it was probably after a dinner involving some drinks or something. I can't imagine someone with a sound mind.
So Mr. July, Mr. O July, Mr. O
July,
which is actually fitting. Mr. July is one half of the founding members of the Alive and Social Network. Scott O'Malley, the creator of the Apples to Apples show, is Mr. July.
Mr. O July.
Mr. O July. Yeah, that was kind of. I might be either onto something or, I guess, onto something.
Or totally just off.
Totally off.
Yeah.
So that's.
But you might be onto something.
Right now, the committee, some very careful wanted to kind of. We went live and on.
On the committee. You know who was on the committee?
No, they
just keep calling them the committee. They're like some being.
Their identities are protected for their safety.
Right. That makes sense. I guess that's understandable.
So there's no way I can reveal it. In fact, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure I know everyone on the committee. I was just Jackie, the real boss here. Jackie, the real boss.
The head of the committee. That we do know. Someone has to be the go-between between us and the committee, and as always, it's Jackie.
Right. So she handed me this. So I don't even know who the committee is.
So they've done a good job so far.
So August, really the first live month of the Apples to Apples show, and there was kind of a core group that really kind of responded from the beginning and twerked us questions and whatnot. So the committee's going to honor this group. I can't wait to see the actual picture. But there's many members in this group. We have Sam, no relation Applebaum, Quinn Dolan, Graham O'Malley, the real Jack Rowe, a shocker, but he's back, the STA left tackle. We've got Jimmy Smith Jr., and they're going to represent all of the Orchard members, but they're sort of the founding group and some of the ones that have chimed in the most. That's August. So, thoughts?
I think I've had my first disagreement with the committee so far.
So, anyways,
it's not with. Can I just make a comment, please? Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, I'm begging. I'm not. I think they've gotten the right people so far, but it's a father shun. Father shun. Father, you do shun me often, so that's.
Well, I wish I would have just done that now, so we wouldn't have to listen. Go ahead.
Father son podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I'm aware, I don't think I mean, we may be coming, but I don't think me and you are on the calendar, ironically enough.
Right.
But I think we should have represented that father-son aspect somewhere. So I think the committee should have included Graham O'Malley with his father, Scott O'Malley, earlier in the calendar.
I totally disagree.
Okay.
They're separate. Graham doesn't want
Go to September then.
No, hang on. Graham doesn't want to do anything to do with his dad. Can I just tell you something? And I quote George Michael, I'm never going to dance again. Guilty feel have got no rhythm. Though it's easy to pretend, I know you're not a fool. Actually, I know you are.
Are you just reading lyrics from Careless Whisper?
No, I don't have to read it. I have it totally memorized.
Right. Okay. Are you reciting lyrics from Careless Whisper?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing.
Trying to compare yourself to George Michael? Because I don't know if that's a comparison you really want to make.
All right, so moving on to September. Here's September.
Maybe George Michael put it on their calendar. Oh, wait.
What? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, boy.
Breaking news, as we know, there's no limit.
Can breaking news go on the calendar somewhere?
No, this is important.
1 month you should open up the month. You know, like birthday cards, you should open up the month and that sound should play.
Okay, terrific. We have breaking news right in the middle of our calendar reveal, which breaking news can happen anytime. So September was going to be Coach K. Remember, Coach K had some pretty insulting things to say. Coach K has been scratched from the 2015 calendar, and in his place, because of extensive whining, the doctor is now Mr. September. Thoughts?
There's a bit of irony there. I don't know if you've read the questions for apple picking today, but one of them was from Coach K, and he had nothing but nice things to say about you in the question.
Well,
so
that's awkward.
There's some irony there, but it also might have just been a last-ditch attempt to get himself onto the calendar.
Well, first of all,
I don't know.
I'm not as you.
We're not picking. So.
Right. Okay. So do you want me to recap, or should we go to October?
We're 3/4 of the way through after September. I'd say recapping would be good.
Okay, recapping January, and it's the best way to start off. Maybe our favorite here, someone we've both grown to love, Seamus Harvey, Mr. January, Jerry.
I still have not met Seamus. So
okay, well that's interesting. Fascinating. February is Jerry Kill. March.
I also haven't met Jerry Kill.
Is this going to happen all the way down?
I might.
Okay, so let's just. I'll ask you then. March, Father Jingdal.
I've met him. I have met him.
April, in honor of WrestleMania, Patrick O'Meara.
Nope.
May, the original founding member of the Orchard, Ray Christie.
I have met Ray.
June, the first Mr. by popular demand, Aaron and Grant.
I think I have met one of the Misters, not both the Misters.
Okay, once again, fascinating. July, Scott O'Malley.
I think I've met him.
August,
once or twice.
Sam, no relation, Applebaum, Quindo.
I've never met him.
Graham O'Malley.
Have you met him? Do you know who he is? Is he just some guy that
Quinn
follows our show? It's strange.
Who, Quinn?
No, the Sam character.
Oh, I know. I've never met him. Quinn, Graham, Jack, the real Jack Rowe, the STA left tackle, Jimmy Smith Jr. September, as we just heard, the doctor has replaced Coach K. October now. Here we go. Oh, this, you know what? Very thoughtful. Mr. October is Terry Ryan, and the committee said they wanted him to have a very good experience in October finally. So Terry Ryan.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, so
that is nice of them.
So Terry Ryan, who we've talked quite extensively about, will be Mr. October. And I guess I agree. Hopefully he'll finally have a good experience in October. Oh, this is going to be controversial, but November, the one and only Representative Mark Sanford, in honor of the election, will be will be Mr. November. You must have thoughts on that.
It's tough, and I hate to say it because he's had some strange things to say, but he's loyal to us at least. He's loyal to us, I should say.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. He might be listening to some other podcasts on the side. I shouldn't say that. I don't know for sure. but he probably has earned a spot. We're just going to have to be very careful with that month photo shoot.
Oh, I agree.
It could definitely go poorly very quickly and very easily.
Okay, so December. You ready for December? This is
It's the last one. This is it.
Oh, and then we have the cover. We got to reveal the cover.
Oh, the cover is someone different. Interesting.
Well, yeah. Well, isn't that?
I don't know. I thought maybe we just would have put one of them on the cover. I don't know.
Nope. The cover is someone completely different. So December. Wow. Now the committee thinks this man is more popular than Santa. I don't know if that's or Hanukkah Harry. It says too. So I don't know what Kwanzaa has, but anyways,
Ken.
I've been on his show a couple times. He's been on ours a couple times. Mr. December, Kevin Gorg.
Wow, that's big. That's big.
That is big.
I had him penciled in for my cover for the cover.
Well,
so that's a bit of an upset, I think, that he's not on the cover. I think a lot of people thought, honestly, maybe even including himself, and I know his co-host Kendall Mark thought he was going to be on the cover. So that's a bit of an upset. He
might be a little bitter. I think he's probably been bitter since we locked the door and wouldn't let him in ever again. But
well, I was also going to say he's probably just bitter he's on it at all. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Maybe swimsuit calendars are the next thing Kevin Gorg's trying to do with his life. I guess I can't. For sure.
For some reason, he's privately sent me some swimsuit pictures, and I would have been just from seeing him, it would have been a shame if he wasn't in it. So, all right,
the people would have been missing something that.
Correct. All right, hang on. I dropped my drumstick. Hang on, because we are about to pick the cover. Hang on. All right, I got it.
You got it? You got your drum? Is it tune? The tune?
And the cover of the...
I can't. Oh, my God.
I can't. I dropped it again. Sorry.
Oh, come on.
One more time.
Do you want me to do it?
Well, yeah, you played it.
I have a drum in your eye.
All right,
do it?
Hit it so I can just talk.
All right, I'm ready.
The 2015 cover boy of the Apples to Apples podcast. Oh, my God. I missed it again. Can you do it one more time?
Sorry, they're slippery. I just ate popcorn. And
Wyatt, you hit
the
drums.
I swear I got it this time.
All right, here we go. Go. And the cover is Wyatt. Wyatt has made the cover of the first...
Wow.
And Wyatt is crying. He's excited. He's texting somebody. I don't know. But Wyatt is the very first cover boy of the very first edition and probably a collector's item. He's touched. And now he's touching me. But that's beside the point. The very first edition of the Apples to Apples swimsuit calendar cover is Wyatt. Thoughts? I think it's appropriate.
I was going to say, I talked about people earning their spot, and I don't think anybody's earned a spot more than Wyatt has.
I agree.
He has to put up with us every week. That can't be easy.
Well, and
I can barely put up with you, and you can barely put up with me, so I cannot imagine trying to put up with both of us.
And he has to sit here every week and just wonder if you're going to get locked out of your dorm, if you're actually going to call, and the last thing he wants to do is have to sub for you. So
I thought you were going to say the last thing he wants to do is listen to you for an hour, because that's the last thing I'd want to do.
I don't even understand what you're saying.
Okay. Sometimes I know things are a little too tough for you to understand, so
okay, well,
I'm sorry.
I knew I shouldn't let you talk. All right,
so complicated things are tough for you to understand, and I'm sorry.
Drew, I'm gonna let you recap the calendar this time.
All right. Let's see if I can get it all right. I didn't write it down. You have the list in front of you. Monday.
Yeah, all right, that went well. All right, forget it.
You do. I don't have the list. I didn't even know the list until you read it off.
Well, what have you been doing the last 15 minutes when
I've been listening, but I don't want to mess it up.
All right,
and I'm nervous because it's a big deal. And if you could just read it off so we know we get it right, I'd appreciate it.
And then,
I can tell you this one. Wyatt's on the cover. Kevin Gorg's in December. And Seamus is in January.
Great. Well, then I'll do everything in between. That was great.
Right.
All right. So.
And I know that the Good Father's in March.
Oh.
Jerry Soda's in February.
So do I have to sit and listen to you do this?
April.
No. Okay.
Is my main man.
I wish Wyatt had a gong. You're done. We're gonna do this
You asked me to recap. I
didn't ask you to do month and then this month and then that month and then I think.
Well, what's recapping then?
Recapping means
what month?
All right, Junior, you sit back. I'm going to show you how to recap. And once again, here is the first annual Apples to Apples calendar. On the cover, we have the one and only producer of the hottest father-son podcast team. That's on 2:30 in the afternoons and 3:30 Eastern. Wyatt. Mr. January, we have Seamus Harvey. Mr. February, the one and only Jerry Kill. March, after Easter, Father Jingdahl. April is Patrick O'Mara. May, Ray Christie. June, Aaron and Grant from the Live and Social Network. July, Scott O'Malley, one of the bosses here. August, we have Sam, no relation Applebaum. Quinn Dolan, Graham O'Malley, the real Jack Rowe. Okay, the STA left tackle, Jimmy Smith Jr. September, we had the breaking news. We have the doctor replacing Coach K. October, we've got Terry Ryan, hoping he enjoys it. November, Representative Mark Sanford. December, we have Kevin Gorg. So, everybody, that was the very first announcement, the very first edition of the Apples to Apples calendar. We will have, hopefully, information next week on where you can see this calendar. So, thank you, George Michael, for being the official sponsor in a creepy way of the Apples to Apples calendar. And now, Drew, you know what it's time for?
Is it time for apple picking?
It's time for the Coors Light apple picking.
Right.
Coors Light sponsors apple picking. So.
Right.
What?
Right. I said right.
Right what?
Like, you're right. They do sponsor apple picking.
Okay. Well, that's just, thanks for telling me I'm right. Way to really, we had a very smooth transition, and that's over with. So it's time for apple picking. Let's go. We have a bunch. We've got enough time left. The very first or the very last apple picking before Thanksgiving. So, all right, let's have it.
Right off the bat, the representative is already complaining. He's he's asking to switch to April, and that's a no. That's a no. We don't make the rules; we just follow them. The committee chose you for November.
Well, does he have a reason to switch to April?
I'm not sure. I maybe he's got. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows with him?
Okay.
He also says the only thing he is loyal to are his wives, which is touching.
Does he have like wives now or just ex-wives? I mean, is he married them all at the same time? Does he live in?
His comment reads, "The only thing I am not. Oh, excuse me. The only thing I am not loyal to are my wives." I read that wrong. So I appreciate that, Representative, that you're loyal to us.
Wasn't he the representative of South Carolina? It sounds like he might be the representative of
Utah.
Salt Lake City, Utah. All right, go ahead.
The president of Brigham Young University. Anywho,
yeah.
He asks. He also does have a question.
Okay.
Should 5-win teams make bowl games? Also, I need holiday gift ideas for my fiancés. Maybe Apples to Apples holiday album. You can get them the Apples to Apples calendar.
Well, we could come up with a
holiday album.
Yeah, we could come up with a holiday album. Although we got a lot going on, maybe next year.
I was gonna say we're a little booked.
To answer his question, no, 5-win teams should not be in bowl games. Absolutely not. Okay.
I don't think so either. No. How many games do you only play? 12. It's a below 500 team.
I don't even know.
No. His most underrated athlete is Jack Jablonski.
Okay.
And his reason for April is he just said hashtag 420 is my reason.
Am I missing something? What does that mean?
I'll tell you off the air.
Oh, okay. So obviously inappropriate.
Would you expect anything else from the
Does he understand that Mr. March is Father Jingdahl? I'm going to go with no.
He may not.
Okay, well, let's move on from that. What do we got next?
All right. I'm gonna go. That was the most recent one, but he had some complaints. I wanted to air those first. We're gonna go back to the beginning
that's
here.
Good. Okay, let's go to the beginning.
This is from Sam Applebaum, no relation.
No relation. Yeah.
He asks his two questions, one for each of us.
Oh.
First, Scott, would you rather want the Gopher volleyball team to win a national title or have the Vikings win a Super Bowl?
Well, that's a good question. I guess here's my thought on that. I don't have to want the Gopher volleyball team to win a national title. They're going to win one. So I will say I'd rather have the Vikings win one. I want the Vikings to win one because I'm not worried about the volleyball team. That is definitely going to happen probably this year.
So you're just going to put your hope and faith with someone who needs it. That's good.
Yep. That's how,
very noble of you and smart.
Well, thank you. I am smart.
His question for me is, how far do you see Georgetown basketball going? I see them getting into the NCAA tournament and then losing in the first round, per usual.
That's negative. They're actually pretty good this year.
Yeah, but they've been pretty good a lot, and they always lose.
All right.
They're like another Minnesota sports team to me. I've learned not to have too much hope.
I get that.
You know, it's tough, but it's a way of life. At least I'm used to it. There's some people here that it's tough for them. You know, they just don't get it.
Okay.
Just don't get it.
Let's move on.
Graham O'Malley wants to know who wins the NFC North.
Oh, I hate to say it, but the Packers.
I think we get in the playoffs. I really do. I think we'll win enough. We're a game ahead of the next wild card spot.
No, I think
2 games ahead of that next person. Well, I think we'll make the playoffs, but I just think our schedule's too hard to win enough games to win the division.
We had to beat Green Bay at least once in order to win the division.
Absolutely. We're not going to beat them at Lambeau.
Last game of the year.
With probably that division title on the line, all things considered.
Correct. All right. Good question, Graham.
It was a good question, Graham. The real Jack Rowe wants to know who do you think is the greatest NFL player not in the Hall of Fame? His most underrated athlete is Randall Cunningham. That's a pretty good one, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Can I count like present players?
Well, no, because that's easy.
Because I was like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they're pretty great.
But they're guaranteed to be.
I think that's cheating.
You know, Jim Marshall, he played for the Vikings. He had an unbelievable career. He'd be one that would come to mind.
Well, and then there's a lot of guys who be. They're just not eligible yet.
Do you know if is Ken Stabler in the Hall of Fame?
Let me look.
He comes to mind. I would say him and there's Morton Anderson's a kicker that I don't think is in it, and he had an unbelievable career.
He kicked till he was like 48 or something crazy.
I would say maybe Ken Stabler, Morton Anderson, Jim Marshall.
I don't think Ken Stabler is in the Hall of Fame. Oh wait, he's been selected as a finalist.
Oh.
That's actually interesting. On August 19, 2015, the media announced that Stabler had been selected as a finalist for membership of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They'll be considered by the selection committee come February. So maybe.
So currently, but this won't be valid in February. I guess those are some names out there, Jack. Thanks for chiming in. All right.
Yeah, I mean, anyone I would say.
You know who? Oh, I got one more that I just thought of because I saw him on TV the other day. Terrell Davis had an unbelievable career. Yeah,
I would actually him, and who else does commentary now that was good that I feel like will be Rondé Barber does commentary now too.
Yeah, and well, Tiki Barber had a pretty good career too.
He called it quits a little too early, I think, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Rondé played for a long time.
I think Rondé.
He was on that team that won the Super Bowl.
I don't think he's been out 5 years though, so I think he will get in. But
Rondé, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Anyone I would think of is either still playing or isn't eligible yet.
Yep.
So,
okay. Next.
Anders Keelan asks,
new member.
Who do you think will be?
Has he? He has never chimed in before.
I don't think so.
Well, congrats. We'll get you a T-shirt.
He asks who we think is going to be in the Super Bowl this year, and I think we had this question at the beginning of the season. I think I said Packers Colts, which is embarrassing now.
Right. I think New England, unfortunately.
I'm going to change to New England,
which I think
Carolina.
I said before. I think the Packers are still going to get in there. I don't know why. And I think my original one was New England, Green Bay, and I think I'm going to stick with it.
I'm going to totally
until someone
shift.
asks us in 2 months.
Yeah, I'm going to totally shift. I don't think anybody saw the Colts being this bad, so I don't regret that choice at all. But I'm going to change. So I'm going to change that because they've just been terrible to the Patriots. They've been unbeatable, literally.
Okay.
And I think in the NFC, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think they've just been too good. I think Newton's having the season of a life.
They seem to have issues in the playoffs, but they seem to have issues in the playoffs. Well, we'll see.
But they've never. I don't think they've ever been this good.
True.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see that for sure because they have had issues in the playoff. But I think at some point, some teams turn the corner. I think maybe it's the year they turn the corner. Who knows?
Okay, continue.
Quinn Dolan wants to know if we think Notre Dame will drop from the top 4 after a bad performance against BC. His most underrated athlete is Carson Palmer. He actually isn't a bad one.
This year.
He's always been good. He's either been on poorly coached teams or just bad teams. But he is pretty good.
I don't think they're going to drop yet.
I was going to say, I think too many people behind them lost to have them lose their spot.
Right. Well, you know who should creep up, but I don't think they can make that big of a jump. Michigan State they're 10-1 now.
Yep. But it's like you said, it's too big of a jump. I mean, if you look at who's behind Notre Dame, Iowa will assumingly vault into the top 4.
Right.
Oklahoma lost. Who else? A bunch of people lost. Didn't TCU lose again too, or Baylor? One of the two. I was getting confused.
I don't know. I was completely out of commission this weekend, but
I just think
I don't think they'll fall yet. I really don't.
I think, like I said, I think too many people behind them lost.
Right. Well, Iowa, Michigan State is probably
Iowa may jump them, but I think Notre Dame will stay in the top 4.
I don't think Iowa can jump them by not playing. They didn't play, so I think we're good for now. I don't know what's gonna happen. Iowa will probably.
It was a
Ohio State's out.
No, Baylor beat Oklahoma. I think is what happened, and TCU lost.
Right.
Happened, I think.
So we got Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan State might get in there.
It was 6. They lost 2. It's going to be a weird ending.
Well,
it's going to depend on a lot of games down. I don't know. It's a weird year.
Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame, and I guess it's going to be Iowa or Michigan State is my guess for now.
I think whichever one wins.
All right, next.
Okie dokie. Ray's back. Actually, I'm going to save Ray's question for last because I think I talked to you about that. We're going to save him for last. Seamus Harvey, Mr. January, wants to know if Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time. His underrated athletes are Draymond Green, Eddie Lacy, and the current Isaiah Thomas.
I mean, I can't. I've never seen anyone shoot better than him.
It is early in his career, but it is crazy.
But if you remember,
it is insane.
Even though he went to Davidson, when he came out before the draft, a lot of people predicted how good he would be. Obviously, we were idiots and didn't take him. I heard people even say he should have been.
We didn't take him twice.
Exactly. I heard people say he should even be the first pick in the draft because of his shooting. So I can't imagine there ever being a better shooter than him.
Maybe
honestly.
Bird, but it's just not. It's not the same.
Larry Bird.
I don't even know.
There was more to Larry Bird's game than this. This guy is just flat out shooting. Like Larry Bird did not shoot half court 3-pointers or anything.
No, he can do it from anywhere, anyway. He can do it off the dribble. He can do it off a screen. He can set the screen, be the flare out, be the
Larry
outlet.
Bird was a better overall player.
He can just catch and shoot from anywhere on the floor, and he hits every big shot. When he has the ball with like less than 3 minutes left, it's like he just throws it up and it's in the air for forever. And you're watching like that's going in, that's insane. It goes in, and it's crazy. There's a reason they haven't lost a game this year.
Okay, well we have
crazy.
We have sort of breaking news, but we don't need the music. Mom just chimed in. My vote for most underrated. Lindsay.
Wait, she sent me this too. I was going to get to that.
You were? I just got it.
Did she think I was really not going to read it? That hurts, Mom. That hurts.
Do you want to read it? Then go ahead.
I guess I have to now.
Well,
I was going to read it. I was going to wait her turn. Let me pull it up now. Yeah, she sent it to both of us.
Okay, fascinating.
She says, my vote for most underrated athlete, Lindsay Whalen. The team plays totally different and has more intensity when she's out there, injured or not. Love you. Love you too, Mom.
Well, how do you know that wasn't for me? Oh, wait, I guess we both know that.
That's a good point. It could have been.
No, I think we both know the answer. All right, well, there, we got it in. Go ahead.
All right. think that's it. Oh, no, there's one more Twitter question.
I know we have
Michael Zander.
Oh, another
That's,
new one.
New. Welcome. He asks, how bad will the Seattle Mariners be next year? Do you know anything about the Seattle Mariners?
I was wondering the same thing just the other day. The Seattle Mariners.
It was really on my mind.
Well, they got rid of their manager.
Right.
They've made some trades that I'm not really pertinent to the names. I don't think they shouldn't be bad. They got Nelson Cruz, Robinson
Well, they weren't supposed to be bad last year either. They just were.
They got King Felix. I'm going to throw this out there early in November that Seattle will be vying for a wild card spot next year.
That's a bold statement.
Call it a
vying
hunch.
for a wild card spot. You really went out on a limb there.
I did?
No, that was a joke.
Oh, what do you mean? What were they in the wild card race last year?
No, but
why is that? Why do you think I didn't go out on a limb?
Vying for a wild card spot could mean a lot of things. The Twins were vying for a wild card spot this year, but they were never going to do anything.
Okay, listen. Michael asked a question and I answered it, and he doesn't need to listen to your babble. Michael, that's my answer.
Actually, if he's tuning in, hypothetically, he would want to listen to my babble.
Don't be so sure. Sometimes you have to take the good with the bad. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, and
it's not like he can tune into a show with just you on it or just me on it. So we come together, as the Beatles once said.
Right. So you need my babble, is what you're saying.
I don't need it. We just
a show with just you.
Need
listen to a show with just me.
Need is the wrong word. So go ahead.
Okay.
Apple picking. Here we come. Let's go.
Are you done insulting me? Can I move on?
I didn't insult you. I answered Michael, his very first question he's ever asked, and he gets a bunch of garbage from you. I was just answering his question.
Okay.
Continue.
The doctor has a question for you.
Oh, gosh.
I know you are a huge Dancing with the Stars fan, so being that tonight is the finale, I'm wondering if you like my chances of winning my futures bet from October 5th. On Bindi Irwin at 3-1 odds. If I win, I may spend my winnings on getting the soccer goalie from St. Thomas some lessons. There's not an I in lessons, doctor. Clearly you're not a doctor of English. I would also like to say Happy Thanksgiving to a couple of my favorite turkeys, Scott and Drew. I'm not sure what that means either, but.
So wait a second. I think we're bearing the lead. We're covering the lead.
Come on.
He bet on Dancing with the Stars?
Yes. And if that wasn't enough, he bet on Bindi. And Bindi Irwin might be good.
Bindi Irwin, her dad was the Steve Irwin, the guy who unfortunately passed away. I think.
Bindi Irwin's not even 18 years old. I feel like there's somewhere along there some laws against that. I feel like that's a gray area there.
Well, I guess that's for Dancing with the Stars. I mean, are we really here to debate that?
Or whoever is placing who makes odds on Dancing with the Stars?
I don't get that. I'm curious where he bet that, but you know what? I think he's in. I think they're going to win. I really do. Derek Huff.
Who's their partner?
Derek Huff. He
went, oh, she's got to win then.
She's good. She's actually really good. She's annoying. If you have to listen,
I'm sure she is. The rest of them are old, washed-up actors. She's just like I said.
No, the dude from Big Time Rush is on there. He's
that's all. Again, it's a kid who played a pop star on a TV show.
Well,
not the same thing, but when that lineup is announced, you can pick out 3 or 4 that are going to be the good ones every time.
A second ago, you just said old what? Go ahead. Continue.
I was saying Bindi Irwin and the guy from Big Time Rush would have been on that list of the people that were probably going to be good.
But
them and
all right.
I don't even know who. I didn't watch it this season.
Then why are you talking so much about it if you haven't watched it?
I don't know.
All right. I think he's in. I think his odds are good. All right. Next.
Well, his odds are 3-1. That's what they are.
And I think they're good. And he's in. Next.
All right. This is from Coach K.
Uh-oh.
This is what I was talking about earlier. So.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
2 of the most underrated athletes would have to be Scott and Goog Applebaum. Let's first start with Scott. It all started at the JCC and then flourished at Highland Park, where he was a star baseball player and a key member of the basketball squad. We all know that. He didn't say this. I'm inserting this myself. We all know that second half was a lie. When not in the game, you could find him at the end of the bench eating popcorn. All right, perfect.
That happened twice, but go ahead.
Well, how many times have you been on the bench? Twice? Did you just sit in the locker room in the other games, not waste your time?
I only had popcorn twice. I had pizza.
Oh,
and
right. You're at the end of the bench often. Yeah. I know the feeling. Trust me. I'm not. There's nothing
that was
wrong
the middle of
with
the
it.
game, by the way. But go ahead. This. No one cares about me. But go ahead.
He gave up a scholarship to Laverne University to stay at home and play baseball in Minnesota.
That's actually
still waiting
true.
to be nominated for the Highland Hall of Fame. I don't know what they are waiting for. He is more than worthy of being inducted.
Well, that was nice of him. By the way, can I just add something to this? The year I gave up the scholarship to Laverne University, they won the D2 World Series. That's a fact.
That was a good call.
Good decision.
That was a good call.
It's the second worst decision I ever made.
What was the first doing this?
Continue.
Goog, or was I right?
Get on to Goog. It's not important.
Goog, or Dr. Goog, as many call him, may have been the greatest little dribbler, Pee Wee, and midget basketball player in JCC history. Those are terrible names to call someone, by the way.
No, that was the name of the league.
They prefer little people, not midget.
Yeah, but that was the name of the league.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
I thought he was just insulting the doctor.
Well, it actually describes him too, but it was really the name of the league.
You see where my confusion was, right?
No, I get it.
His favorite player was Dr. J, and he played just like him. His ball control and jump shot were talked about throughout the Twin Cities. He dominated at all levels, and Googie was the bomb. He was headed to a career in the NBA until he tore his ACL in 9th grade. Coach K, and here's where I said the drama may come in, member of the calendar crew. He said that.
Well, let's just back up. He was headed to the NBA until they found out he was short, slow, and Jewish. Oh, wait, and did I mention white? Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. Coach K must have got hit in the head. He said a lot of nice things. Unfortunately, you're still off the calendar. All right, next.
Like I said, I think it was a last-ditch effort to get on the calendar.
He's done. All right. Do we have anything else?
Yep, we got one. We got another email from Perry Graff.
Oh, Perry Graff. That's right.
A recent study shows the NFL teams with the worst records also coincidentally have the drunkest fans. Not surprisingly, the Bills, Lions, and Eagles lead the league in intoxicated fans. Surprisingly, the Green Bay Packers do not own the number one spot for drunkest fans.
That is surprising.
Vikings fans measure higher on the intoxication level than the average Packer fan. I'm going to interject there and say it's probably because we've had a lot more losses to sit through.
True.
But her question, with Green Bay's recent away loss to Detroit at Detroit, but recent away win at Minnesota, can one devise a reliable drunken fan factor betting formula? Her pick for most underrated athlete is Hank Aaron. Even without the 755 home runs, he hits over 3,000. He has over 3,000 hits and a 305 batting average.
I think.
Where's my T-shirt from Perry?
The T-shirt is on the way, except we don't know who Perry is.
No.
So Perry needs to let us know a drop-off spot, and we will get the T-shirt for sure.
Right.
I'll let you address her question. Or was there a question even?
Yeah, it was something about drunken fans.
What do you mean something about? You just read it.
Can one devise a reliable drunken fan factor betting formula? Honestly, I would refer her to the doctor in the situation because clearly he's our local bookie.
Here's what I'm
betting
gonna do.
expert.
And then we're gonna hit our music in a second. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna and I have friends at Harvard.
Right. You send it off to them.
I'm going to send it off to them, and hopefully Harvard will get back to us, and we will have an answer within a few weeks, hopefully in time for the bowl season, the college bowl season.
Right. Don't hit the music yet. We got one more question.
We do?
It's from Ray. I told you we'd get back to it.
Oh.
He asks, what's the hardest sport to coach at the professional, collegiate, and high school level?
Oh, geez. I would say... professionally, I would say just about any sport because they all make too much money. College, I would think basketball.
I was going to leave basketball as well.
Because they're coming and going. Well, the good teams, they come and go, I guess.
Yeah.
And you have to get the players. And I would say in high school, I think if you're a good coach like I am, you can coach any sport.
Well, I guess that's true. But that doesn't answer the question.
That's a very interesting question. Why did you say that for the last?
Because he's got another question.
Oh, all right. Two-parter. Go ahead.
He asks, what are favorite 3 monumental sports moments in the last 10 years.
Oh boy, I couldn't even. I'd have to.
And so my thought was that's a lot to talk about.
Okay.
And I want to know what other people have to say about that. So I think we should use that as our poll question for next week. What your favorite sports moments from the last 10 years are.
All right.
And I'm thinking there's like the Women's World Cup win.
Most monumental, you just said. Okay, so the most monumental sports events from the last 10 years will be our next
Moments.
week's. What?
He said most monumental sports moments.
What did
in
I
the last
say?
10 years. Events.
Oh my God, that's a huge change. Okay, I stand corrected. Well, that's a great way. All right,
Well,
well,
I'm just saying there's a difference. Like very monumental things happen in like basic.
I don't need
games.
I don't need your explanation. We'll go with moments. I totally get it. Plus, your explanation will take 15 minutes, and then Kevin and Kendall won't be able to start their show. So, on that note, that was a pretty exciting edition of the Apples to Apples show. I think this time of being thankful, like you said at the beginning, we are very thankful for the orchard and the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. We haven't got one more, and once in a while, thousands of people to listen. We are very thankful for everyone. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. Drew, I will see you in 2 days.
I was gonna say that earlier, but I'm excited.
I'm not that excited, to be honest, but
I know you're not.
I will see you in a couple days. Everybody else have a great Thanksgiving. Wyatt, congratulations, and have a great Thanksgiving.
If I had a round of applause effect, I'd play it, but that's what he does.
Well, we're going to work on that for next week. How about just this for Wyatt? And we will see everyone next Monday. Bye-bye.
Everyone can see we're together as we walk on by, and we fly just like birds of a feather. I won't tell no lie. All of the people around us, they say